The images are red. The markets tremble. I can almost hear the pulse of the world, racing, skipping, unsure. In this moment, the lines between reality and chart blur because reality, raw, frightening, too real, has a way of bleeding through the cold comfort of numbers and trends. Rand, the United States, Israel, narratives clash in places we may never see with our own eyes, but their shockwaves hit us where we live. I want you to hold that fear for a moment. Breathe it in, and let me show you what I see, what the charts whisper just beneath the surface. Before we plunge headlong into the abyss and the hope that might lurk just beneath it, let me say this. If you are wandering here for the first time, or if you always return, thank you. Crypto 101 Central is yours as much as it is mine. Subscribe. Let's not lose each other in the next turn of this market storm. And for those hearts beating a little faster with every notification, make sure to click the bell. Let no shift catch you off guard. Back to the chaos. Do you see that color? The whole crypto market's soaked in red, a field after a battle, blazing, broken, beautiful in its honesty. This crash is no accident. The reason lives far outside the digital ether. Missiles, statements, alliances moving between Iran and the West. It is a beginning, they say, with a whisper that sounds too much like a promise that this is only going to get worse. And so I stare at my chart. There is an orange box, a bastion, a fortress built from hope, memory, the repeated rhythm of human panic and resilience. Bitcoin hovers there, tested and tested again. Once, each bounce from the box was an exhale. This time, they are weaker. Each rebound more fragile, sold off by hands desperate for safety. Lower highs, lower lows. The trend paints its own grim poetry with every candlestick. And now, together, we stand at the precipice. Today the bulls defend. Today, the orange box holds. But tomorrow, if we lose this box, let me tell you what awaits below. 60,000, 61,000, 59,000. The greatest pit, 57,500. Just a little further, and a moving average, a line drawn by counting years, losses, comebacks, waits at about 58,000. All these numbers. No, not just numbers. Each one a memory, a warning, a plea. 8%. That's all that separates us from this very different landscape down below. It sounds, when numbers are inhuman, like nothing. But in the soul of a trader, it's endless. I am not here to time the bottom, not to play God at the edge of the abyss. My strategy: buy on the way down, hands open, terrified but steady. And if we drop near that orange box, then yes, an individual trade. I've decided. You will know first, always. That's our bond, yours and mine. Ethereum is fighting its own small civil war. Support lines, the orange ones, hang at 1,800. Above, for now. If the wider war escalates, well then even this thin hope may snap. Solana too, straining to cling above my orange line. These boundaries are fragile, living things. As if hope itself had a color, a glow. Barely visible, threatened by every new tremor from the Middle East. Traditional markets do not sleep, not really. The S&P, yesterday, Friday, fell, and its doors close with a shudder. But soon they'll open again, and the world will react. Gold, though, gold soars. I have to smile, even now. Gold does what gold has always done. It shines when fear is thick as fog. I am bullish. You heard me say it. And I meant it. More uncertainty, the harder gold glitters. Let me tell you a secret. Months ago, I set up a gold strategy. Less madness, less volatility, just steady, stubborn gains. It has been running for about 300 days. Would you believe it? 116% gains. With leverage, yes, but real nonetheless. I paid 32 Tether in funding and earned 90 from the algorithm and 200 from price surges. In this chaos, sometimes the ancient paths, the ones our ancestors trusted, still deliver. Gold, I think, has more to give us, even though the days of meteoric rises may be behind. If you crave less volatility, more sleep, use that template. Silver, too. Some of you picked it up from my orange boxes. You messaged me, 20% gains in a breath, 200% with leverage. We are not powerless. Sometimes the market grants us these small personal victories. My orange lines, some call it superstition, Some call it strategy, but for me, they are memory, intuition, ritual. I will keep sharing them, I promise. These trading setups, spun from experience and a touch of faith, are my way of saying, you are not alone in this noise. Before we return to geopolitics, before we chase the next rumor of catastrophe, let me show you one last pattern, a glimpse through the Fisher transformation. It's an indicator, yes, but to me it's more like a seismograph for human emotion, momentum, exhaustion, the moment when enough is, at last, enough. Look back to 2014, a bottom, a trough in the human heart, a surge, a bull run, a climb from despair to hope. 1,369 days later, another bottom, another crossover. Every time, the pattern is there. The proximity to pain, the inevitable soaring after. 1,371 days, a new bottom. Time spins in perfect bitter circles. Most recently, after 63,000, the chart hints that the next bottom, time-wise, may lie near the end of summer. 55,000, 36,000. These aren't predictions. They're possibilities. Ghosts trailing through the market's uncertain corridors. Every ghost tells us something. Wait, watch, the next beginning is after the next ending. And so, we widen our gaze. Morgan Stanley moves closer, hungry for a piece of this new world. They seek a charter, to custody crypto, to stake, to serve clients used to stability, but restless for more. $7 trillion they manage. 7 trillion, the color of old money, cautious money, but money that is changing. 18 million clients wait behind them. Imagine only 1% of this old world flows into our space. 70 billion, nearly half again what all the ETFs have so far. If 10%, 700 billion. Even 5%, 350 billion. Unimaginable changes. The dam is cracking. They are waiting for Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, and when those doors swing open, part of that flood will pour into our hands. This is history, moving its slow gears, but moving all the same. Israeli media report assassination strikes. The war has truly begun. No longer whispers, but bombs, smoke, and frightened voices in the night. Donald Trump's recording plays, promising bombs, calling for revolts. The world tilts. Bases everywhere, even near Abu Dhabi, are burning. The New York Times tells us this is bigger than last year. More confusion, more pain. And yet, here's the strange truth. The markets have not collapsed. Not as much as fear told us they would. Maybe we have all been expecting this. Maybe expectation is a kind of armor, bracing us for the worst, refusing to let us plunge all the way down. My strategies, honest as bruises, sometimes we gain, sometimes we wait for losses to deepen, for the buying to begin anew. That's where we are. I won't try to time the bottom, promise more trades, more truth, more sharing. When I act, I will tell you, my community, my fellow travelers on this uncertain path. If we lose this level, and I confess it looks more likely every moment, then I am prepared to enter new positions, to do what I've always done. Respond, adapt, survive. If you've come this far in the video, I want to ask something bold. Like this video if you felt something, if the fear and the hope both spoke to you. These markets are not just numbers. They are our stories, written in red and green, in sunrise and dusk. Leave a comment. Tell me where you are, what you feel, how you weather this storm. Your voice is the chorus. Your words are strength to me and to others. Our journey is not done. Hit that bell one more time. Let's not drift apart in the madness of tomorrow's market. Watch the next video. There's always another edge, another horizon, another chance to begin again. This is Chris, and this is Crypto 101 Central. Until our paths cross once more.